We're delighted to be here to start the groundbreaking for the Marvin Gaye playground, and we have a Marvin Gaye park on the other side over here. Because Marvin was he lived in Ward 7. Everybody knew that, right? Yeah. Well, y'all really lively today, man. Yeah, yeah, I knew that. um, we're delighted to be able to be here too to once again see a couple of our agencies who've worked together so effectively. The Department of General Services and the Department of Parks and Recreation. And DGS just celebrated its third anniversary, its third birthday on October 1st. For those who don't recall, what we did was we took all the construction agencies, which were all over the government. REC had its own, and MPD and fire, and there was a Department of Real Estate Services, and the schools had its own, and I don't know, there may have been 6 or 7 different entities across the government that didn't necessarily work effectively together. And we put them together 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago now, and created an agency that has been incredibly productive. And you're going to hear from their director shortly, but I want to recognize him for the extraordinary work that he's done, Brian Hanlon. Brian? There is a principle that we've used called collaboration. Everybody knows that word. A lot of people talk about it. Not everybody practices it. But when you do collaborate, when you do work together, when you do recognize that you're all going up the same path, or in this case, going up the same trail, you can get there and be in great shape. We have also done this with our community partners. I see Steve Coleman right across from me. I've worked with Steve since I was a Ward 7 council member. And Washington Parks and People has been a great partner. Steve, I want to thank you for continuing to be very much a part of the continuing development of our city, especially here in Ward 7. Thank you for what you've done, Steve. You know, this is a project I started when I was a Ward 7 council member. And I'm so glad to be in a position, you know, to be able to get it done. I never forget, there was a lady, and I won't call her name, but I came out here one day, and we had just gotten the project approved. It had been just, you know, a discussion point, and we got it approved in the budget when I was a Ward 7 council member, and she stood up and announced to people a date for the groundbreaking. I said, man, we can't do that. I said, groundbreaking, we got to make sure that this is in the budget, the money is there, that the plan is put together, so we can't do that. So if she had announced today as the groundbreaking, she would have been absolutely right. But that isn't exactly what she announced. It was a date that was maybe a couple of weeks in advance of where we are at that point. This is part of a 3-phase project. The first phase is to be able to do the playground, and this is not part of our Play DC agenda, which I think is the most aggressive, extensive, wide-ranging playground renovation project that we've ever had in the District of Columbia. We started out with 8 playgrounds, and then we went and found some more money, right, John? We went and found some more money, and we got it up to 24. And then we kept those going, and we got 8 more that we added to that. So we have 40 playgrounds across the city that we have been working to renovate, to modernize. And we've put a lot of money, millions and millions of dollars into these playgrounds, but it is a great example of collaboration, because in every instance, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've dedicated 27, 26, 25, something like that, of the playgrounds. They've been finished. Some of those that we've done, by the way, weren't even part of Play DC. We did Sherwood a couple of weeks ago, and this one is not formally a part of Play DC, but it will get done in the same spirit as Play DC. And that spirit is to work with the community. Every one of the playgrounds has its own unique theme, and then the playground is developed in the spirit of that theme. Some is nature, some are nature, and some, like Rosedale, demonstrate the iconic monuments in the District of Columbia, like the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument and others. But those themes come directly from the community themselves. Anybody know what the theme for this is? Who said music? You right on time, brother. Now, how do you think that the community working with the government came up with the theme music? Marvin Gaye, that's right. That's the answer to the question. What's going on? In any event, that seems absolutely a natural, doesn't it, to have music as a theme for a Marvin Gaye playground. There are lots of things. I'm not going to go into all the details of what will be a part of this, but there'll be a new splash pad. There'll be areas for the 2 to 5-year-olds and areas for the 6 to 12-year-olds and areas for the 45 to 50-year-olds. And those who will tell you that they're 45 to 50, but they really aren't. There'll be things you can climb on. There will be a piano key. How about that? That will be patterned. That will be part of a stage. I guess we got a rendering over there, right? And it will look like that when it's finished. And there will be picnic and game tables and whatnot. But please remember, this is part of a 3-phase project, and the playground is just the first phase. There will be a new trail that will be 1.6 miles in length. And, ladies and gentlemen, the crowning glory, the crown jewel of this will be a brand new recreation center that will be built right on these grounds. That's what's going on, y'all. You know, the playground, by the way, will be finished in a couple of months. It will be finished in December. And then we will start the process next spring, next summer of the trail, as will, they will actually run simultaneously. The trail and the recreation center will run together. And they will be finished in 16. So you won't have to wait much longer, and you know how long you will have to wait. I suggest that you all come out and have a meeting on the site periodically. And you know how when folks see you standing there, they step it up, right, and move even a little bit faster. So this is really an exciting day for me. I've lived in Ward 7 for a very long time, and to see what we've been able to do to fulfill the promises that we made in Ward 7 really is an uplift for me. And this is yet another one, being able to fulfill a promise. There are so many others that we made and that we've been able to keep over the last 3 years, 9 months, 10 days, etc. We have a number of people who want to be a part of being heard from today, and I'm delighted to call on them. The first is our director of the Department of General Services, who I mentioned earlier. Again, DGS has been an extraordinary part of our development here in the city, all across the city. And this is yet another example. Please join me in welcoming Director Brian Hanlon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, all. I want to start by thanking our mayor. I'm born and raised Washingtonian. This is my hometown, and I didn't know that I would one day come to government, but I have to say it has been the honor of a lifetime, not only to serve our city, but to work for Mayor Vincent C. Gray, who is the best boss I've ever had. Just an amazing person. I want to thank him for his courage, his tenacity. He says, "What's going on?" And then he looks at us directors and says, "Let's get it done." And let's get it on. And we, 8 playgrounds, 24, 40. What's the difference? Let's just keep moving. One of the things that the mayor has fostered, and I want to say, in all sincerity, his cabinet loves working for him. We love this person, and one of the things that I do love about our mayor is that he lets us lead, and he fosters collaboration. So I get to work with great people like Dr. Shanklin of Parks and Rec, and to be able to, and other directors, and as hard as we try and as sincere as we are about collaborating and doing things that continue to advance our city and to elevate the quality of life, there's always more to be done. And Stephen Coleman came up to me a little while before this event, and he reintroduced himself to me, and we chatted a bit and realized that there's other disconnects that he noted, that if we pursue those and we continue to push the envelope, there's so much more that can be done. Sometimes it's just the margins where a lot of improvement can be made, and so I want to thank you for that, Stephen. He told me that he has mobilized 90,000 volunteers in this area, which is pretty extraordinary, and I think speaks to getting the community really engaged and involved in making sure that our city is ours. These spaces are incredible hubs of community activity for the young and for the rest of us. And making sure that they are ours and they're great civic hubs is a shared responsibility. So I want to thank the community for being here today for that. And I'll just quickly go through. The mayor talked a bit about the attributes of the overall project. I want to point out a couple of things. You see these fences around these trees, especially this glorious tree right here. These trees are to be saved. These are to protect and make sure that they do not. We have a really beautiful site here with the river sort of defining one edge of the land, and so the site design, it does have piano keys on one end. I want to tell the children, you can bounce on them all you want, then it's not going to make any noise. But have at it. But the shape of the site is somewhat of a piano shape, and it's also kind of hugging the creek, and the rec center that we build will also actually span the creek. So it's going to be beautiful, and I'm very proud of that. I want to thank a couple of folks. The Studio 39 concept designer for the playground did a great job. CADCon they're a CBE firm, certified business enterprise. I want to say just all of our projects, we have a dedicated commitment to making sure that district-based companies get as much of the work as we can get into their hands. By law, 35% of our contracting dollars need to go to CBEs, but DGS has a higher standard and consistent with the mayor's goals and visions, and so we make sure that it's a minimum of 50%, and we've exceeded that goal on every project, and so I'm proud of that, and we'll make sure we do it here too. We also make sure district residents are hired. So since we started that program, the Workforce Incentive Program, 45%, it's just shy of 45% of the hours worked on all of our projects have been by district residents. And that's helping get people jobs. It's helped keep, making sure that money's in our economy, and I think it's been a very successful program. My team our capital construction team is led by June Locker. She is leading all of our projects, and I always say that she's the one that makes me look good. I want to also point out that there's another person that makes me look good, which is Ollie Harper. Ollie Harper, who's not here, he's out at another site. He's the deputy director for facilities, and his team they're the ones that respond to calls for service. They're the ones that maintain our facilities, and they, in my opinion, do a great job of that. Our DGS project team, we got a couple of folks here. I noted June. We've got Alfonso over here, Tom Love-Tear, and Cynthia McClendon, and Jackie Stanley, who's always in the room somewhere when we're doing a project. And then lastly, I'll close by saying just to thank the commissioners, Gaffney, Garcia, Washington Parks and People. I see Commissioner Jackson back there. Hello. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Director Hanlon. We also, and we've mentioned this department and mentioned her a couple of times already. That is Dr. Shanklin, who is our director of the Department of Parks and Recreation, who is ably joined in her work every day by John Stokes. John is everywhere. And I appreciate the work that John does, and I suspect everybody across the city does, John. So I appreciate the partnership that you have crafted with Dr. Shanklin in helping to continue to move forward the department that may touch more people in this city than any other. It is, yeah, everybody. 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 You know, they are accredited now and have a master plan and have really done some extraordinary work. a department that is so important and one we can be mighty proud of because it is one of the leading parks and recreation departments in the nation at this stage. I hope you're probably going to say this, Dr. Shanklin, and you can say it again if you like, but there's 3,000 or so parks and recreation departments, and there are only 112, which is about 4%, that are accredited at this stage. And one of those 112 is the Department of Parks and Recreation in the District of Columbia. So please welcome Dr. Sharia Shanklin.
Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to Marvin Gaye Center. I would like to thank Mayor Vincent Gray for his support of DPR and making the district a great place to live, work, and play. Under his leadership, DPR has reached new heights never before seen. With the Play DC initiative, DPR was able to renovate 40 playgrounds, the largest playground renovation in DC history. Additionally, DPR became accredited for the first time. I would like to thank Councilmember Alexander for her support of Ward 7 and DPR. She is extremely dedicated to the needs of Ward 7, and as is her staff. I'd like to acknowledge Brian Hanlon and the entire DGS team. We are a wonderful partnership. Your expertise and assistance has been invaluable to DPR. Where are my DPR staff colleagues? All right, raise it up. I'd like to thank the area manager, Monica Clark Phillips, site manager, Kimberly McPherson, site staffers, Demetrius Denson, and our project manager, Ella Faulkner. I see Jennifer Hamilton, I see Rachel Newman, and a few others that names I'm escaping. DPR has 92 playgrounds, 68 recreation center, 40 aquatic centers and features, 375 parks, many of which are just named yesterday as the best in the DCist. Okay. 1,000 acres of green space and over 120 play courts and hundreds of programs. What you may not know as a front-facing agency is what we call ourselves. DPR provides programs, activities, and events to all the 660 residents and visitors, 660,000, residents and visitors. And we are a staff of 462. In spite of our small number, our dedicated staff is committed to excellence, and the CAPRA accreditation is evidence that we work very seriously. As recreational professionals, we know that parks and recreation services provide a close-to-home, no-to-low-cost, readily available facility, amenity, program, activity, or event that you can enjoy that is pleasurable, and that promotes leadership, autonomy, choice, initiative, and relief from stress that may be felt in other areas of your life, which contributes to positive psychological adjustment and well-being. So we want that great opportunity for the community here in Ward 7 and specifically here at the Marvin Gaye community. I've met with the community members and we've heard your voices. While the playground, the recreation center, and the trail are not yet where we want them to be, we are on our way. This will no longer be called Needle Park. We're still looking forward to the day when residents don't have to look out their windows and see criminal activity. We're not there yet, but we're going to make it there, and I do want to acknowledge Steve Coleman because we've had a series of meetings just recently just to kind of move this up very quickly. This project is the only project underway in the district that includes the trail, the recreation center, and a new play space. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on our way, and we thank you for your support.
Thank you, Dr. Shanklin, and we have a group that just arrived that's going to make sure that this gets done. They've been advocating for years, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, this is one of the youngest gangs that we have in the District of Columbia. and they came over here high-fiving, and they want to know what's going on also. And you can read their lips as they say, let's get it on. No, I want to thank you all for bringing these young ones over here today. We have For those who don't know, we have the most robust early childhood education program in America at this stage. I don't think any of them are 3 or 4 years old yet, but they will be. And when they turn 3, we already have 80% of our 3-year-olds who are in school all day, every day, and we have 94% of our 4-year-olds who go to school all day, every day. There is no city or state in America that can make that statement. You know, I don't have any reservations about bragging on what the District of Columbia is doing and has done in the recent past, because how many times have people talked bad about us? You know, we had a hearing on statehood on the 15th of September, and it all was positive. There wasn't the city is mismanaged and you all don't know how to manage money. I'm sure they didn't have the nerve to talk about anybody managing money up there. But it was none of that. It was all positive. And frankly, I don't have any concerns at all when people talk about the good things that are going on in the District of Columbia. And frankly, and thank you, Dr. Shanklin, for mentioning what was in D.C. yesterday. We should have brought some of our rankings cards out. These are things that have been externally accorded to us. I think we have some don't we, Cedric? Can you get some, please? Thank you. I thought you'd pick up on the cue. We'll pass them out and take a look at them. You can probably read them in about 45 seconds. And they all are externally accorded to the city, and we should be proud of that. We now have been joined by our council member from Ward 7, who I'm certain is happy this project, this 3-phase project, is getting underway, beginning with the playground. Again, this goes back to when I was the council member in Ward 7, and I'm really pleased that we are able to get this done. And it'll be a great day when we finish the recreation center also, and we can celebrate the playground, we can celebrate the trail, and we can celebrate the recreation center. Please welcome Councilmember Yvette Alexander.
Mr. Gray, Mayor Gray, you have delivered on a promise again. I really want to thank the residents of the Northeast Boundary community that are out there. Every meeting, every month, when are we going to get our community center? When are we going to get it? We have been promised for years and years, so I am so happy. And Mr. Mayor, they're all out here this morning because they wanted to see this to believe that it was actually taking place. But we have kept this center alive and well in Ward 7 with the many activities that we have done throughout the years. I know there's a Father's Day event every year. I know that there's a Watts League basketball event that comes out here. So we're still keeping it alive. And we have just partnered in recent years with Prince George's County, as we are right on the border of Prince George's County, with a wonderful event that we commenced last year, Unity in the Community, which is a collaboration of Ward 7 and our 6th District police officers and our Prince George's County police officers in District 7. So we are keeping this center alive, and I could not be more thrilled at having this new center come to life. I want to thank Dr. Shanklin, Mr. Stokes, Ms. Stanley, with DPR, all the meetings that you're going to have and that you've had to make sure that the residents are included in the planning of this center. Thank you. Mayor Gray, once again, thank you. He is delivering for us in Ward 7, so I'm really pleased. Thank you.
I think while the cards were moving around as the program unfolded, you will notice on the side that says the District of Columbia is a place to be, you'll notice on the right-hand side that we are the #1 fittest city in America now, as determined by the American College of Sports Medicine. We went after that, right, John? Because Minneapolis had it for a couple of years, and we told them, we're coming for you guys. You took our baseball team 50, 60 years ago, but you're not going to take this one from us, and we're going to make it happen, and folks did. And one of the things that we don't have on here, because I don't see it on. Oh, yes, we do. Over on the left-hand side of that first side is we are now, as determined by Forbes magazine, we are the coolest city in America. Now, that's all right, y'all. And you probably want to know what the coolest city is. I don't have a precise definition, but I don't care. It's got to be good. If you're the coolest, man, you got to be pretty doggone good. We have some of our ANC leaders, unfortunately, with us today. Unfortunately, Dr. Gaffney is not able to be here. This is our single-member district. I do want to recognize that we have Commissioner Carson Carr and Commissioner Jackson are here with us today. And we have a couple of people who are going to speak on Dr. Gaffney's behalf, and we all know, I'm sure wherever she is, I'm sure she's thrilled. And I'm sure that if she could be here, she would be here because she's been such a great advocate for being able to help get this done. But she made sure a couple of people were here today, Dorothy Jones and Judith Williams, and I'm going to ask them to speak on her behalf. And then we're going to hear from, these guys are clamoring to speak back here. Can't you hear it? We're going to designate one of them to be the keynote speaker. We'll try to do that while the next two ladies are speaking.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Judith Williams, and I am proud to say that I am among one of the first kids to come onto this playground back in 1950 when it was first opened. We have been fighting, thank you. We've been fighting, as the mayor said, for a long time. This is a dream come true, and we want to thank everybody. And as you can see, we have some young ones that are waiting to come here. So as soon as this is completed, we will be very happy. Thank you very much.
Good morning. I'm Dorothy Jones. I moved out here way after Judy did. And my next door neighbor would say, "Dottie, let's go to the meeting. Let's go to the meeting." I say, "What meeting, Miss Oliver?" So she said, "The civic meeting." And I didn't know anything about it, but following her, and I've gotten interested. I learned a lot about the community and working together with everybody. And it was talk about the playground. So now I'm happy to say, Miss Oliver, we have a playground.
M-A-R-V